Now we got a comment regarding the clarifying algorithm and model. Yeah, a lot of people get confused with this. So you use algorithm on your data, and that is after you have done that, then the final outcome is going to be what we refer to as a model. So modeling, model is the outcome of algorithm using your algorithm on your data set. So which is what we call machine learning modeling. So, and then there are other processes that you're going to be involved. Sometimes you might need to do recursion, recursively doing this and then repeating some hyperparameter optimization and also for that. But finally, the end result is going to be a model. So why some people do refer to it that, okay, which model did you use? It's not which model you use, which algorithm do you use? That's the correct question. Which algorithm are you going to use for your modeling? That's the question, not which model are you going to use. Algorithm is not the same thing as model. Rather, algorithm is what we use on our data. Then together, this end result is going to be a model. Thank you very much for that. So I can see someone raising her hand, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Mr. Mohammed Balogun, Dr. Mohammed Balogun, I can see. You can unmute yourself. Mohammed Balogun, raise your hand.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, sir, for a very vigorous section.
Thank you.
So, although I did not join from the beginning, but I was able to get some aspect of what you are discussing about.
Yeah.
So, but actually, what I want to ask is, because there is recently I come across this concept that they talk about data-centric AI and model-centric AI. So are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm following you. Yeah.
So so I want to just ask, because the two concepts is somehow what they actually mean by the two concepts. So I've tried to understand it, but I think maybe when you explain it, maybe it might be more clearer to me. Data-centric and model-centric. So they say that there are some times that when you work on the particular data, you work different model, that the model will not work until you have to do something about the data. So the data-centric, does it have to do with future engineering, or it involves something else?
Okay. Thank you very much for that, for the question. So, and very interesting also to know that people are trying to learn more, which is very, very important. We need to read and then we get new ideas. However, first of all, try to let us know that sometimes some names are just coined to make things look totally different. So yeah, even though they may be almost similar or the same thing. Yeah. So yeah, when you say data-centric and the model-centric, you know, in the building block that we showed earlier, let's go back there. You can see. Yeah. Yeah. In this building block, to make it clearer, you can see here, this is where algorithm is involved, and this is where the data is involved. Yeah. So by data-centric, they mean you focus more on your data. You are going to do more data preprocessing, which by far, this is the basis of actually the machine learning system. Let the data speak. Everybody agree that data is the most important. You bring a wrong data, the best of algorithm cannot do anything for you. But if you have the appropriate or near acceptable data, you must be able to do some things there. So that is the data-centric is more data focused. You're going to have whatever, which improvement do I want to do on that? Okay, I'm going to focus more on this. Okay, the data is not, let the data is go. We need to do pre-processing. Maybe the features are not correct. Do I need to add more feature or remove some feature? Under feature engineering, a lot of things could be done, by the way. We try to avoid having what we call some kind of repetitive features. For example, in your data set, you're having date of birth and you're also having age. You see, this is the same thing. Your age is gotten from your date of birth, but sometimes the data that came directly from your client has these two. How do we resolve it? Some people say, okay, leave the two of them there, although you are going to have a kind of, this is a kind of repetition of data, which is has its own effect on the modeling, by the way. But sometimes in future, it might have its own advantage. So sometimes we kick them out at some point in time. So we work on it. Sometimes we convert some feature, we combine features together to get a more informed information about each of the data sample that we're modeling. So that is data-centric. So focus more on data. And as a matter of fact, machine learning is more of data-centric, by the way, because if your data is really bad, that's why we do say let the data speak. And from my own experience so far, let the data speak. Data speak is really very important. It has been working. However, when they say model-centric, yeah, they need to redefine that model-centric. What they mean by model-centric? We don't have data and model. See, okay, do they mean by model-centric? Is it algorithmic-centric? Because in that case, it's okay, you need to focus more on algorithm. Which algorithm are you going to use? You see, we can focus more, and you can see here there are two things there. Either you focus on trying to improve upon the algorithm, do hyperparameter optimization, so that you can improve your work. See? And the second one is focus more on your data. Do as many pre-processing as possible so that you can improve your work. These are the two things we often do. We often carry out. But like I said, sometimes people do kind of refer to algorithm as model. Algorithm is not model. You see? So it's not model. It is when you add data to algorithm, then you use your algorithm of data, then it generates a model. So by being model-centric, what exactly are they trying to come up with? That means they are trying to see more of your algorithm, because there are two things involved. Either you pay more attention to your algorithm or you pay more attention to your data. These are the two things we have. But then people do use it synonymously, that, okay, algorithm also synonymously as model. I've seen it even in some published work. It's referred to algorithm as model, but that is a kind of not very correct usage of such a term. Algorithm is different from model. It's when you add data to algorithm that model will be generated. So in that case, if the talking of algorithm-centric, it means that AI that is going to be based depending more on the kind of work you have done on your algorithms, the type of algorithm you are using, which capability, is it regression-based, is it ordinary classifier-based, or it is multi-level? Because sometimes also when we build our model, it could be multi-level, in which case the first stage is to do a classification, the second stage is based on the classification you have done, then you go for regression. You want to predict if a student is going to fail or pass an exam. After you predicted it's going to pass, then what is the grade that is going to get? You see, what is going to be the final score? Final score is going to be in a regression problem. Sometimes we have it in multiple stages like that. So this could be the basis for the compartmentalization into what people call data-centric or model-centric, as the case may be, but rather it should be algorithmic-centric, if to use the correct term. So hope that clarifies. Barakallahu Fik.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Barakallahu Fik. So, Mr. Yakubu Ayodeji.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Please, my own question is that as an educationist,
Yeah.
I want to know how this the machine learning learning model can help in research process for people that are in educational level or area.
Okay.
How can this help us?
Okay. If I get your question, you mean people are, I mean, they are teachers,
Education line.
The
Yes,
education
yes.
line, because when we say educational line, we have researcher from computer science, from engineering, they are also in education. You mean education professionals, huh?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Well, I want to believe that a lot of opportunities there, lot of opportunity, but people are, from my own little knowledge, not many people have been working in that area. So there are so many things. You see, all those things that we used to do before, you see, after you gather your data, then you are going to use ANOVA or some static analysis to do it. Machine learning can be used to do the work even better for you. Yeah. Whatever you have done before or you are thinking of doing, then finally you get your data, you want to use statistical. I want you to know that machine learning can come in there, because most of the areas that today they are all benefiting from machine learning, they were using statistical before. Even in oil and gas, you used to use statistical system to do their modeling. I remember when we started working on oil and gas, one of the practitioners there, they used to struggle with getting like 40%, 30%, 50% accuracy. With machine learning, they have taken it to as high as 98, 99% accuracy in some cases. So whatever you can do with, after you get your data, whatever you can do with using statistical or whatever method, you can actually use machine learning. So education is by far an area that really need to tap into some of the opportunities that machine learning do offer. And because it has the capability to introduce the preemptiveness to the system. For example, you want to study withdrawal of students in school. Why do we need to wait for a student to reach withdrawal level before we predict that the student might likely suffer withdrawal? So that you can start to allocate more time to the student by way of advising and so many other things, early intervention that can prevent the student from running into problem, actually. I want to believe that a lot of areas that the professional educationalists actually, they do work on that can really improve the educational standard of any system, of any society. So, and with interest, I want to believe there are a lot of opportunities in that respect. So interested participants can engage us later on this, so we can provide the necessary guide that you can actually try to work on data, get the data set. And as we said today, you can see it on the screen. Let the data speak. The data will tell us some of the things you can actually benefit, how we can proceed, and as the case may be, what can we achieve from the data analysis of your work.
Amen.
Mr. Yakubu Ayodeji.
Yes, I'm the one that just speak.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Salami Hamzat.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, it's a pleasure talking to you. It's been a while.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. In fact, almost every week I'll check on the platform to know if there will be a program, and
okay,
it's not forthcoming. But alhamdulillah, you've created the opportunity for us again to listen to you and learn a lot from you. Like I've always said, I'm from economics background, sir.
Yeah.
And I've been following your program. It's been so interesting and so prosperous. So I've been trying to have a kind of a link between machine learning and most of the economic analysis. So, for instance, sir, if in our economic regression, econometric regressions, the normal statistic regression where you get your data, you get your dependent variable and independent variable, you do your regression, you have estimated parameter. The experimental parameter tells you either it's a negative relationship or positive relationship.
Yeah.
From there, you move to the statistical indicators such as R square and so on. Those ones tells you if the model is a good fit or whatever. And so those are the statistical indicators and so on. From there, you profile a policy implication and so on. So please, in this kind of my little analysis I've given, where can machine learning come in here to better this a little simple statistical analysis I've given? Where can machine learning come in here? Where can machine learning come in to better the little regression analysis I've just tabled, sir? Where can machine learning comes in here?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Salami, for the question. And thank you for the interest and so for following up our platform. And also a big apology for all for the 3 weeks break. So it's been a kind of traveling and then not in my base. So that make it very impossible to conduct those classes. So we apologize for that. So, and we hope we are fully on board now, inshallah, so on our weekly program. And the good news, you can always benefit ourselves from our videos online, so at least to learn more from whatever we have covered. As for your question, actually, what I would advise, and I think I'm going to post, I've posted the link several times. I will repost the link. Specifically, they call it UCI data set repository. See, if you don't have any data, or if you have a data set, try to implement a simple thing on data set, on your data set. If you have data set on the economy, the one you are talking about, you can try to see what you have done and now try to use even the simple k-nearest neighbor or decision tree and see what you can get.
Okay, sir.
I want to tell you that,
Okay,
you need just to start with something, and then you are going to really detect the power of machine learning and related concepts. You see, there used to be one of my students, physics, it was in physics, doing his PhD then, used to invite him to come and try on machine learning. He used to say, maybe, is it going to work? Is there anything I can do there? Today, now, is one of the pioneer in the machine learning application to physics and physical sciences and material science. He has done a lot of work in these areas because there are a lot of areas that really need to be explored. So we cannot even mention it. Just anywhere you can get data. Is data available whereby you can have data like you have a data, maybe you have data like, okay, this is X1, X2, X3, and then there's Y, that's target. You can get this data out, then machine learning can work for you. You see? So get those data ready, then this is the output. I know you have data, you used to use ANOVA and other statistical methods. They are trying, but machine learning take it from where they stop. See, where the power of statistical stop or ANOVA, machine learning take it from there to higher level, actually. So once you have your data set, then any topic, once data is available, machine learning can work for you. I can assure you of that. So what you need to do is try your first machine learning experiment. We have one of our video called How to Run Your First Experiment in Weka. You can check it out in your YouTube channel. Putting your data into the system, you see step by step how you can import your data, import it, predict or that classification or regression or whatever problem you want to solve. It will be there to answer your question and to solve it for you. However, as a starter, if you do have any clarification or you get stuck at a point in time after watching those videos, please do find it very comfortable and free to contact me for any clarification. We can have an extra Zoom meeting to clarify if the need arises. Okay? So,
thank you, sir.
Yeah, I can assure you, whatever area you can get data, then your machine learning can work for you there. Yeah. And even these days now, we can even use it to also create data and some other new areas that people are actually exploring. So you're always welcome. Barakallahu Feek.
Thank you, sir. Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah,
Too.
Barakallah feek.
Sir. May Allah reward you in abundance, sir.
I mean, you too. Thank you very much, everybody. So thank you all for the time. So I think that's what we're going to have for the day. So we appreciate your timing for sacrifice also and tithing and seeking for the knowledge. We pray Almighty Allah will bless the knowledge for you and also put barakah in all your endeavors. So we look forward. So we're going to make provision. Like we always say, please, whenever you have any issue, you can always refer to our forum. So our Telegram or WhatsApp to ask whatever question you need. Also, our YouTube channel is there for us to ask any question and to check out some of our previous videos. And also, of course, this one also will be posted to our YouTube channel as soon as possible. Thank you very much all. Till next week. Wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum.